Hello everyone, it's Kim here from Hancock Homestead and Gardens, and I thought that I would just do a real quick update to let you know what's been going on. As most of you know, I've been gone for the last couple of weeks. In the middle of May 15th, I left with my sister on a trip out to Pennsylvania. She had always wanted to go to Pennsylvania and see a couple of sites, and she asked me if I would like to join her, and of course I said yes. So Saturday, May 14th, we went down to Columbia, Missouri, and we watched my daughter, Katie Beth, graduate from the University of Missouri there in Columbia. She graduated with 2 degrees, cum laude, and honors in both. So we were very proud of her. And then my sister and I, we spent the night there in Moberly, Missouri, which is very close to Columbia. And we got up the next morning, Sunday, and started our trip to Pennsylvania. And that day, Sunday, we just kind of went through the east side of Missouri. And then we went through the middle of Illinois, and then Indiana, and the top part of West Virginia. And we ended up spending Sunday night in Richmond, West Virginia. And we avoided the big cities. She and I really don't care for big cities. We're kind of country girls. So we went underneath Springfield, Illinois, and then we went underneath Indianapolis, Indiana. So we did avoid the big cities. However, I will tell you that day my sister really became aware of how anxiety-ridden I can be, because I do not like to travel, and especially after my accident, John and my accident with the semi, semis just make me extremely nervous. And but she called it my immersion therapy, because I mean, we were at times surrounded by semis and I was doing a lot of breathing. But we made it. We made it Sunday, and we stayed in Richmond, Virginia. And then Monday morning we got up and we started through Ohio. And the first part of Ohio is very much like Indiana, but then you hit the Ohio Valley, and it becomes kind of mountainous and wooded, lots of trees, and a beautiful country. And then we went on into Pennsylvania. And then on Tuesday, well, let me go back to Monday real quick. So Monday, we were doing a lot of traveling together, and of course we were talking and we were catching up. And Monday morning, we had seen a sign for an Arby's. And I like Arby's roast beef, as does she, but where we live at, there aren't very many Arby's restaurants available to us. So that morning we were like, okay, for lunch we're going to stop at Arby's. Well, it was like every town we went through, we'd see those blue signs that would say food, and there wouldn't be an Arby's listed. So we were like, okay, well, we're just going to, keep going, and hopefully, down the road we're going to see another Arby's. Well, we drove, and it got lunchtime and still no Arby's, and about 2 o'clock, still no Arby's, and Jody was like, okay, well, you know what? I am going to have to pull in for some gas, get something to drink, take a potty break, those pit stops that you have to make. So she was like, the next truck stop that I see up here, we could see it off in the distance. She goes, I'm going to pull in there and take a pit stop. So we pulled into this Love's truck stop, and lo and behold, there was an Arby's, a little bitty Arby's restaurant connected onto this truck stop. Well, we both said, that was a sign that it was time to stop and eat. And so we got our Arby's that day, and it was pretty exciting. So we were sitting there in this Arby's, and I said, where are we? And she said, I think it's Zanesville, Ohio. So I was like, oh, okay. And I thought, Zanesville, Ohio. Where have I heard that before? And so I was asking her, and she was like, I don't know, maybe a tornado. And I was like, I don't know, we both. So Jody pulled out her iPhone, and she, Googles Zanesville, Ohio. Well, that is the place where the man had released all of those wild animals, like, I don't know, 100 or something wild animals that he had kept on this miniature zoo ranch that he had, and he had released them. So there was a time where that whole city had been shut down while they were trying to capture these wild animals. Now, this was in the news several years ago, but it was just, I don't know, odd that we happened to be there and we both recognized the name. But so anyway, so that was kind of an interesting experience on Monday. So Monday night we get through the whole of Ohio. Ohio's a pretty big state. And we start into Pennsylvania. And we end up spending Monday night in Donegal. I think I'm saying that right. Donegal, Pennsylvania. And so we stay Monday night at a really nice Holiday Inn Express. And the next morning, Tuesday, we get up for our first tourist attraction. Jody has always wanted to see the Frank Lloyd Wright Falling Water House. Frank Lloyd Wright was a famous architect, and he made these beautiful and yet unusual homes. And it had always been on Jody's bucket list to go see the Falling Water House. And she had asked me, she was like, would you be interested in seeing this, this house? And I was like, oh yeah, because in fact I had even seen a documentary on it. And so I was really interested in seeing it. And so we were both thrilled about that. So Tuesday morning we went to the site, and we went on the tour of the home and heard all of its history, and got the money shot, as they call it, of the house over the waterfall. It's beautiful. I'm going to post a couple of pictures. And then afterwards, it was about lunchtime. And so Jody had planned for us to go to a motel that night, and then the next day to go to the Flight 93 Memorial. Well, since it was only like lunchtime, and we had finished the morning tour, Jody said, well, how would you feel if we just went ahead and went to the Flight 93 Memorial, and because it's only about an hour away, and we'll spend the afternoon there, and then that'll give us an extra day for Lancaster County. So I was like, oh, well, that's great, because I wasn't tired, and I was excited, and my adrenaline was going, and I was having a good day. So we left the Frank Lloyd Wright house, and we traveled to the Flight 93 Memorial. And even though it was a place of great tragedy, it was a very beautiful place. They had done a remarkable job in honoring these people. And the memorial was very solemn. Everyone was very respectful. It was quiet and peaceful. And they're doing just a beautiful park. They've started it. It's not finished. But when you first get there from the parking, and you're in the parking lot, and you're walking down to the memorial, they have it in the concrete what had happened during the day, and this concrete wall is supposed to indicate the flight path that the plane had skidded down. And then at the very end of the pathway, if you look down, you can see the boulder where the plane actually finished its landing. And the memorial was beautiful, and the inside, the visitor center, had videos of the people and really did a nice job of honoring them. And then after that, you could walk down through this meadow and down towards the boulder, the lower part, and they had the names etched into the wall. And it was just, they did a nice job. They really did a nice job honoring these people. So I enjoyed visiting that memorial, even as sad as it was. I just can't say enough about how beautiful Pennsylvania is. I mean, it's hilly and mountainous, and it's just tree upon tree upon tree, just and farms everywhere. I mean, it is just a beautiful, beautiful state. And I'm somewhat envious of people who live in Pennsylvania. Although I will admit, Missouri's got its own beauty too. So that's what we did on Tuesday, was the Falling Water House and the Flight 93 Memorial. And then that night, we stayed in, I think it was Breezewood, Pennsylvania. Okay, well, I'm going to have to end this clip here. But if you enjoyed part one of my trip, then be sure and look for part two, where I discuss our visit to Amish country. All right, this is Kim at Hancock Homestead and Gardens saying bye for now.